Hello, my name is Harley Mills, and I will be demonstrating the use of sign language as a form of an augmentative and alternative communication device. Sign language is considered one of the most practical and functional forms of communication for children with autism spectrum disorder. This is credited to the fact that it is an easily accessible form of an augmentative and alternative communication device because the only materials needed for communication is the individual body. Sign language may be highly beneficial to a learner with autism spectrum disorder because it is widely recognized by a variety of communities, including the deaf and hearing impaired, and it is formally recognized as a form of language. Sign language may be used when an individual shows deficit in functional communication, such as verbal speech or language development. And children who are visual or tactile learners may pick up sign language easier than auditory learners, thus making them more desirable applicants to acquire the skill. So today I will be demonstrating the use of sign language for manding and how I would teach that to a child with autism spectrum disorder. So to begin, I would confirm motivation for an item by allowing free access or preference assessment to my client. So if I were to do a preference assessment, I would maybe set out a cup of water, a telephone, and some edibles, so maybe some candy or some chips. When the client reached for one item, so say he was reaching for my water, I would allow him to take a sip, confirm motivation. If he took the sip and then began to continue to reach for the cup of water or inappropriately manned, fuss, or whine, I would implement a hands down procedure similar to a count manned. Wait 3 seconds, and then I would go in with a model prompt. So the client begins to reach for my water, hands down, water, water. I would allow the client 3 to 5 seconds to attempt the sign. If they did not attempt the sign, then I would go in with a more intrusive physical prompt and prompt water for the client. I would give them 3 opportunities to have a more close approximation to water. If the client were unable to do so, whether it be due to problem behavior or some fine motor deficits or something like that, if they were attempting like this and they went in, then I would just differentially reinforce. I would not deny access, but I would give them a small sip of water, quick like this, and then have them remand for the item. So water, water. Say the client comes in and I left off at a full physical prompt, then I would go in with a partial physical. So I would lift their hand towards their chin, prompt water, and reinforce. I would systematically fade from a full physical to a partial physical, then a model. So I would model it and have them imitate me, gesture here, and then it should be full independence for the client. If there were specific deficits in the fine motor or the understanding or able to create the W here for water, I could always make modifications depending on the client's specific protocol. I have clients at my current clinic who do not discriminate between water, juice, soda. They also don't have the fine motor skills to create this W here. So we do a 1 finger to the chin for drink. We prompt drink, even though I believe the actual drink sign is this, but we would prompt this for drink and reinforce. So there are many benefits to the use of sign language, the systematic fading, and then the independence of a child being able to mand appropriately for the items, tangibles, attention that they want. And then the only, I'm not going to say the only deficit, but there are some cons to the use of sign language in the sense of if modifications are going to be made or home signs will be used versus American Sign Language or something more standardized and universal, the client or learner may run into issues where outside novel people do not understand the mand being placed. So if I were in the community not having any ABA background or not having the exposure to my specific clients that I've currently had, and a kid walks up to me and is doing this, I may not understand that they want to drink. Therefore, I would not reinforce their demand, and that may cause problem behavior or some type of regression or loss of generality for that client due to the lack of reinforcement for that man. So in my history of working in ABA for the past year and about 3 months, I've had pretty good success and generality with the use of sign language to myself and novel instructors and novel individuals in the community. So I definitely am a strong believer in sign language as a form of an augmentative and alternative communication device for individuals with autism. Thank you.